What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. You guys see the title, 7 Reasons the Sport of Boxing Needs Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, the ultra super mega fight to happen. Now, some of you guys are thinking like, we don't need 7 reasons, just make the fight. Don't click on the video, don't watch. It's my channel, my rules. So, if you guys want to stay tuned, I'm going to give you my reason and actually put this in order for you guys based on importance in my opinion. This is just my opinion. Not everyone's going to agree with me, but I've composed a list of 7 reasons why I feel this fight needs and must happen. So starting from the top, number 7, not many worthy opponents. Now, this is kind of tricky. Some people are going to disagree. They're going to be like, oh, Pacquiao could fight Danny Garcia. Floyd can fight Amir Khan. They could fight Keith Thurman. What I mean by worthy opponents could be a multitude of things, not just in terms of skill or power or this and that. It's the combined effort. Like Keith Thurman could be a good fight for either of them. Yet based on Keith Thurman as a brand, and I really like Keith Thurman, he hasn't really built his brand to the point where he's a household name. He's going to be on NBC fighting Robert Guerrero, so hopefully that helps him become more of a household name. But at this point, if either of them were to fight him next, not saying it can't be a good fight, but I don't think it'd be a record breaking, like it's not going to outdo Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo or anything like that. It's not going to do those record setting numbers. So again, when I say worthy opponents, it's a variety of different reasons. You got to consider that these are the 2 top earners in the sport of boxing. So things need to make sense. Plus these guys have already paid their dues. Things got to make sense. And it is a business. As much as I hate to say it and I cringe when I say it, it really is true. And these guys, you know what I'm saying, their events are big and they have to be big. So there's a lot of guys that could make for competitive fights, but they're either not winning, they are not big enough in terms of building their brand and that kind of thing. So that's why I say there's not too many worthy opponents that people just genuinely must see. You know what I mean? People are still working on their path, their journey, and this is why they need to fight each other, Mayweather and Pacquiao. Number 6, the record-breaking numbers and financial gain. This is really self-explanatory. This has the potential to be the biggest fight that boxing has ever seen. It's already built up. You don't even really need a promo tour, press tour. You don't need 24/7 all access. I mean, it's good to have those things, but it's not needed. You can just put this, if this fight were to happen right after the Super Bowl, like the week after the Super Bowl, people would tune in and it would do great numbers. So just for all parties involved, Showtime, HBO, whatever they decide, Golden Boy Top Rank, Mayweather, Pacquiao, their teams, Freddie Roach, Floyd Sr., they all stand to gain a lot of fucking money by fighting each other. So this one's easy. I don't really have to spend too much time on it. In at number 5, it's a competitive fight stylistically. You look at both fighters and arguably what the other person presents is that fighter, the other fighter's kryptonite. You could say Pacquiao has struggled with clinical boxers. He didn't look great against Timothy Bradley, someone who's agile, good boxing ability, smart, ring IQ, counterpunching. Also Marquez being a hell of a counterpuncher, knocked him out. And even before that gave him tough fights, 3 tough fights where they could have won either way in a lot of people's mind. A lot of people had Marquez winning, some people had Pacquiao winning, etc. Needless to say, if you come at Pacquiao ready to brawl, most often you're going to lose that. He's the best at that. Like, he looks the best against the Antonio Margaritos and guys that come to slug with him. You know what I mean? They just can't compete with the angles, the speed, the power, the dimensions, the footwork of his fight game. You know what I mean? And then same thing with Floyd Mayweather. You could say, oh, he doesn't really like fighting southpaws. Look at the Zab Judah, a southpaw with speed. We know Pacquiao has that. Also, a volume guy. Marcos Maidana, troubled, I guess you could say. Floyd Mayweather in spots. And he's nowhere near the speed or footwork of a Manny Pacquiao. He doesn't give you the same kind of looks and angles. So the Philly shell has been proven not to be as effective, that particular guard, against a southpaw. So arguably, these fighters stylistically, it's a really good fight because Floyd, especially in recent memory, wants to fight more or less at his pace and figure you out. And Pacquiao might not give him that opportunity to figure things out. He might just be a barrage, a whirlwind, like he is in some of the other fights. But then he could pay for that also by fighting an accurate, skilled counterpuncher, and really a guy who takes information and data and he computes it really quick. So stylistically, it's a good fight. So for that reason, just even at this point, some people will say, oh, but they've declined. It is what it is. It's still stylistically a good fight. In at number 4, influence on boxing. As a longtime fan of the sport of boxing, this fight needs to happen just because these guys have been in the sport for so long. They are very influential. There's other people, and I don't want the sport of boxing, when these guys retire, to think this is the way to go about it. 2 champions, 2 well-respected resumes and things like that, to not fight each other. You know what I'm saying? They, more than they probably even know at the moment, they have a lot of influence on the sport of boxing. And again, I don't want this to be considered the way to handle it. We've already missed out on some great fights. Gamboa versus Mikey Garcia, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis in the pros. There's a lot of great fights that could have happened. David Tua versus Mike Tyson is a fight I would have loved to see. Eric Morales and Juan Manuel Marquez. I mean, there's great fights, and for whatever reason, they missed their window, and now they don't make sense to have happen if these fighters even fight anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want Mayweather and Pacquiao to be in that same vein, a fight where it's like I said, the game is impressionable. Some people were in high school, some of the boxers or whatever, they were young and in high school when the negotiations first started. 5-6 years later, they're in their pro career, you know what I mean? And they're young men, and a lot of these people are impressionable. They looked up to these guys. So I don't want that to be the new model for boxing, and people to think it's okay to not fight your toughest challenge or your contemporary in, you know what I'm saying, of your generation. That can't be the case, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want it to be the case. So that's why I put that at number 4. I think guys, they're powerful. They're the 2 highest earners, and there's a lot of impact that they've had on the sport. So I don't want their everlasting message to be, hey, this is the fight that should have happened, that could have happened, that didn't happen. In at number 3, it concludes debates. Now, I get sick of talking. I mean, I don't even care who wins at this point. I've heard so many different arguments on who would win, why they think they would win. Some say Floyd will get knocked out. Some people think Floyd can knock Pacquiao out, or he'll just school him easy. It'll finally put everything to bed. We'll have a conclusive answer. We'll have the opportunity to see what happens instead of speculate, guess, and argue with each other in forums, in comments, on websites, etc. So I like that. That it gives us an actual verdict instead of just wondering and what if. I don't like playing the what if game. In at number 2, legacy. I don't care who you like. Both fighters are at the twilight of their career. They're kind of bringing it to a close, winding down. This fight needs to happen because this is their legacy. Again, some people hate Mayweather. They hate Pacquiao for whatever reason, hate Pacquiao fans. They hate Mayweather fans. Whatever the situation is, both of their legacies, in my opinion, is at stake. They both have a good resume, but they both really have an asterisk. You can't give one guy an asterisk and not the other. If they don't fight, then neither one of them have fought. Whether you think it's Mayweather's fault, whether you think it's Pacquiao's fault, it didn't happen. And if it doesn't happen, then they both, as far as I'm concerned, they can't say they fought each other, and it's going to hurt their legacy because this is the fight that the fans want. And for whatever reason, whether it was drug testing, whether it was Mayweather being stubborn, playing mind games, excuses, whatever you guys think is the reason, if it doesn't happen, then it's going to taint or dampen either one of their legacies because they both deserve to have each other's name on their resume. And then number 1, this is easy for me, being a longtime fan of the sport, the fans. If nothing else, this fight needs to happen for the fans. The fans are the ones that put asses in the seats, pay for merchandise, pay for HBO, Showtime subscription, buy t-shirts, go out and support when they do side projects, when when they do a Manny the movie, or Floyd Mayweather in his other endeavors when he does club appearances or whatever. To me, the fans are by far the most important, and they keep this whole thing a well-oiled machine, and they keep the sport growing. If there were no fans, there would be no fighters. Or if there were fighters, it wouldn't be on this grand scale where Mayweather is getting private planes and a million cars, and Pacquiao's able to tour and live comfortably and take care of his family. All of that stems from the fans. The fans create that. If there was no interest in these fighters by the fans, then they would be in a different situation than they are currently. So I think for the sport of boxing, for humanity, for the fans' sake, that is the number one reason this fight needs to happen. So that is my top 7 reasons why Mayweather Pacquiao needs to happen. Will it happen? I don't know. It's looking good. It's looking better than it's ever looked in recent memory. I'm waiting to hear an official announcement on if it will happen. Again, I'd rather see it sooner than later. Fuck September and waiting and things like that. This needs to happen. I've outlined why I feel it should happen with clear, concise reasons. Let me know if you agree, if I missed something that you feel is a valid reason for why this fight should happen. And if they do fight, may the best man win. That's all I'm going to say. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Why should this fight happen? Are you over it? Should it not happen? Drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.